welcome to lecture 4 of module 1 of subject indirect taxation. In today's module, we will be covering what are the problems on module 1. So just let us see what is covered in module 1, basic concepts of income tax, where these different aspects are covered which we have already seen in different lectures till now. Today we will be seeing problems on residential status of individual SSC. So before starting the problems, we will just have a quick recap of how to calculate or how to determine the residential status of an SSC. So this recap or this revision, quick revision, is for those students who were not able to attend my classes earlier. So this is just a quick revision. Okay. So how do we determine the residential status of individual SSC? First, we check the basic condition. Now, basic condition is just to check whether the individual is a resident or non-resident. Later, we will see what is the additional conditions if he qualifies as a resident. So remember, the first step will be to check the basic condition, because only if he fulfills the basic condition, then you can step into the additional condition. Otherwise, additional condition is of no use. So first is checking the basic condition, and basic condition will help you to know whether a particular individual is a resident or non-resident. So basic condition is defined under section 6 subsection 1 of income tax, which says that an individual is said to be resident if he satisfies any of one condition. So there are two conditions. Remember, there are two basic conditions, two additional conditions. In basic conditions, even if one or both the conditions is satisfied, he is said to be a resident. If none of the conditions is satisfied, he is said to be a non-resident. So a quick revision, what is the condition? First condition is he has been in India during the relevant previous year. When I say relevant previous year, means it is a year immediately preceding the assessment year, for a total period of 182 days or more. So he has been in India in the previous year for a total period of 182 days or more. This is one condition. Or he has been in India during the 4 years immediately preceding the previous year for the period of 365 days or more. So in the 4 immediately preceding previous year, his stay in India is for 365 days or more. And remember, it is and, that means these two has to fulfill, and has been in India for at least 60 days in the previous year. There is difference between relevant previous year and year immediately preceding the previous year. Relevant previous year or previous year means nothing but it is a year immediately preceding the assessment year. But this immediately preceding the previous year means leaving the previous year, previous 4 years. You have to see whether it stays 365 days or more. So just remember, if he fulfills both the conditions, he is a resident. If he fulfills any one of these conditions, he is still a resident. If he does not fulfill any of these two conditions, he is a non-resident. Suppose he does not fulfill any of these two conditions, then please do not go to additional conditions. Additional conditions you have to check only when his status is becoming a resident. So suppose he is a resident, then you have to check the additional conditions. These are the two additional conditions. Once he is a resident, you have to check whether he is a resident and ordinarily resident, or resident and not ordinarily resident. So if he satisfies both the conditions, remember in the basic it was or, in this it is additional conditions, it is and. So if he is satisfying both these conditions, he is said to be resident and ordinarily resident. If he is satisfying either one or none of the conditions, he is said to be resident but not ordinarily resident. So we'll just quickly read this. An individual is said to be resident and ordinarily resident, that is ROR, if he satisfies both. Remember this word, he is said to be ROR if he is satisfying both. When I say both, means first and second, both should get fulfilled, then he is ROR. If either of one is getting fulfilled or none is getting fulfilled, then he becomes RNOR. So what are the conditions? Condition number 1, he is a resident in any 2 out of last 10 years preceding the relevant previous year. Means whatever is the previous year, 10 years preceding that, he should be a resident for at least 2 years. Out of 10 years, at least 2 years, he should be a resident. In any 2 years, it can be. Next is his stay in India in the last 7 years preceding the relevant previous year is 730 days or more. So in the last 7 years, his stay should be 730 days or more. And this both calculation and both these condition is from a year which is preceding the relevant previous year. Don't consider the relevant previous year. Preceding that, you have to catch the 10 years for first additional condition and 7 years for second additional condition. So we have recapped, had a quick revision of this. Next is, this I've already explained you all. Next is exceptions to the basic conditions of residential status. See students, we know that there are certain exceptions to the basic conditions. Like we have 2 basic conditions. So out of that, second basic condition will not apply to whom? It will not apply to a member of a crew of an Indian ship or a person who is leaving India for employment reasons. Either he is self-employment or he's employed maybe by some companies. So if he's leaving India for employment purpose, then you're just going to categorize him as a resident based on his relevant stay in the relevant previous year if it is amounting to 182 days. At least 182 days his stay should be in the previous year. So there is, for rest others, you will just check as said that basic conditions, both the basic conditions as well as additional conditions. But for a member of a crew of an Indian ship, or for any person who's an Indian citizen and he is going outside India for employment or business purpose, either self-employment or he's employed by some other entity, then how will you determine his residential status? You have to just check one parameter. That one parameter is his stay during the relevant previous year should amount to at least 182 days. When I say at least 182 days means 182 days or more. So now we have finished revising, having a quick revision of how to determine the residential status of an individual SSC. Now we'll have a look on the sums or problems. Okay. Is this visible to everyone? Students, is this problems visible to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. So now pay attention. There is a first problem, and trust me students, in your final examination, one problem on residential status of individual SSC is sure to come. So 100% one problem on residential status of individual SSC is sure to come. So pay attention. So problem number 1, Sam came to India first time during the previous year 2018-19. And during the previous year, he stayed in India for, so they have given 3 different situations. Suppose if he's staying in India for previous year for 50 days, determine his residential status for assessment year 1920. Suppose he's staying in the previous year for 183 days, then what is his residential status? And suppose if he's staying for 153 days, then what is his residential status? Now, first let us understand this problem. Assessment year is 1920 and previous year is nothing but immediately preceding the assessment year. So 1920, obviously the previous year is 1819. Now, to check the residential status, first we have to check the basic condition. Clear? So, what is the first basic condition? The first basic condition is his stay in India should be for at least 182 days or more. Here we have seen that the first basic condition is he has been in India during the relevant previous year for a total period of 182 days or more. So in the first situation, tell me, is he fulfilling the first basic condition? Is his stay in the previous year 182 days or more? No. His stay in the previous year is only 50 days. So he's not fulfilling this first basic condition. He's not fulfilling the first basic condition. The second basic condition is he has been in India during the 4 years immediately preceding the previous year. But why should we check the second basic condition? Because he is coming for the first time in India. So obviously, if he is coming for the first time in India, he's never come to India before. So why should we check the second basic condition? Because second basic condition tells that his stay in India should be in the 4 immediately preceding previous year in India, it should be 365 days or more. Now he's coming first time in India, so we are not going to check his second basic condition. Obviously, he's not going to fulfill it because he's coming first time in India. So you can write the solution as, since Sam resides in India only for 50 days during the previous year, he does not satisfy any of the conditions specified in section 6 subsection 1. Therefore, now suppose if he is not satisfying any basic condition, then he is said to be a resident or non-resident. He is said to be a non-resident. He is therefore a non-resident in India for the previous year 2018-19. Now, when you all write it in the exam, I want you all to specify entirely what is section 6 subsection 1. So section 6 subsection 1 is nothing but these two conditions you all need to specify. Now next, 183 days. Now second situation is 183 days. Now second basic condition too he is not going to fulfill anyways. But first basic condition is his stay in India during the previous year should be at least 182 days or more. Now it is 183 days. So obviously it is more than 182 days. So he is satisfying one basic condition, and if he satisfies one basic condition, he is said to be resident in India. So let us see the solution. Since Sam resides in India for 183 days during the previous year 1819, he satisfies one of the conditions specified in section 6 subsection 1. He is therefore a resident in India for the previous year 2018-19. So are you all understanding? Next is 153 days. So 153 days. So first thing you all need to see whether he is satisfying the first basic condition. What is the first basic condition? His stay in India during the previous year should be 182 days or more. Now first basic condition is not satisfied because it is 153 days, which is less than 182 days. So first is not satisfying. Second will obviously not satisfy because he is coming first time in India. So why should we check that previous 4 years whether his stay is 365 days or more, because he's coming first time into India. So obviously he will be again a non-resident since he is not satisfying both the conditions. Both the basic conditions is not being satisfied, or either of the basic condition is not satisfied. So he is a non-resident for the previous year. So let us say Sam resides in India only for 153 days during the previous year 1819. Though he resided for more than 60 days during the previous year, but in 4 years immediately preceding the previous year, he did not reside in India. That is, he came first time in India. Hence, he does not satisfy any of the conditions specified in section 6 subsection 1. Thus, he is a non-resident for the previous year 2018-19. See students, here there are two conditions. Either in the 4 years immediately preceding the previous year, his stay should be 365 days or more, and 60 days, at least 60 days in the previous year. So 60 days he is satisfying, but he is not satisfying this. And means both these should be satisfied. So since both these plus this is not getting satisfied, therefore his status is a non-resident. Have you all understood this problem? Students, have you all understood the first problem? Everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. To remember, to solve the problems on residential status, you just need to remember 2 basic conditions and 2 additional conditions. That is it. Then you can solve any sum on individual SSC. Remember, if he is fulfilling both the basic condition or even one basic condition, he is a resident. But if he is not fulfilling any basic condition, he is a non-resident. Now let us go to the next problem. Problem number 2. Andy, a British national, comes to India for the first time during 2014-15. During the financial year 2014-15, 15-16, 16-17, 17-18, and 18-19, he was in India for 55 days, 60 days, 80 days, 160 days, and 70 days respectively. Determine his residential status for the assessment year 1920. Now students, tell me, if the assessment year is 1920, which is going to be the relevant previous year, or the previous year, it is going to be 18-19. Correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Correct. So very good. So the assessment year is the assessment year is 1920, and the relevant previous year, or you can call it as previous year also, it is 2018-19. Now, just don't look at the solution. First, let us understand the problem. So we have to check his residential status. For that, what we have to do, we have to check the basic condition. Now, what does the first basic condition tell us? That Andy's stay in India during the relevant previous year should be 182 days or more. See here, he has been in India. Andy has been in India during the relevant previous year for a period of 182 days or more. Now you tell me, in 18-19, his stay in India is only for 70 days. Now, how to, like in exam, you can plot it in the form of a table, either vertically or horizontally. So just look at the solution table part. So here I have shown it horizontally, and in succeeding problems I have shown it vertically. It is all left to you all how you all want to present it. So here 14-15, 15-16, 16-17, 17-18. His number of days of stay is 55, 60, 80, 160. But the relevant previous year, 18-19, his stay is only 70 days. So is he satisfying the first basic condition? Tell me, students, is he satisfying the first basic condition?
No, ma'am.
No. So now let us look into the second basic condition, whether he's satisfying second basic condition. So what second basic condition is telling us? His stay in the 4 years immediately preceding the previous year should be for a period of 365 days or more, and in the previous year it should be 60 days or more. Now in that, and in the previous year it is 60 days or more, because it is 70 days he's staying. So obviously this part is getting fulfilled, and has been at least for 60 days in the previous year. So this part is getting fulfilled, but we have to check whether the first part is getting fulfilled. First part is during the 4 years immediately preceding the previous year, his stay should be 365 days or more. So let us check that. Now 18-19 is the relevant previous year. 4 years preceding that means which years will come? 2014-15, 15-16, 16-17, and 17-18. Now we have to check in these 4 years which is immediately preceding the relevant previous year. Matlab relevant previous year you need not check. Only the 4 years before that you got to check whether his stay is 365 days or more or no. So in 1415, his stay is 55 days, 60 days in 1516, 1617, 80 days, 1718, 160 days. So just add this up. When you add this up, you will get as 355 days. Now you all tell me, students, whether he is fulfilling the second basic condition.
No.
What is the second basic?
No, ma'am.
No, because his stay should be 365 days or more. But here he's just staying for 355 days. One part of it is getting fulfilled, but part we cannot see, because and means both these should get fulfilled. Then only we can say that second basic condition is got fulfilled. So it is not getting fulfilled. Now you all told me first basic is not getting fulfilled, second basic condition is not getting fulfilled. So what will be his status?
Non-resident.
If both
Non-resident.
very
In India.
very good. So let us see how do you write or present the answer in the exam. So during the previous year 1819, Andy was in India for 70 days, and during 4 years immediately preceding the relevant previous year, he was in India for 355 days as shown below. Thus, he does not satisfy the conditions that are specified under section 6 subsection 1, and consequently he is a non-resident in India for the previous year 2018-19. Students, the one more way to present the answer is, you can first write the two basic conditions, and then you can tell that Andy is not fulfilling the first basic condition as specified, second basic condition, therefore he is a non-resident. I have written everywhere section 6 subsection 1 so that when we keep on solving the problem, the section goes into your mind, you remember it in the exam. That is the reason I have mentioned the section number. But along with the section number, I want that you all even write the provision in the exam and come. Provision in the sense, I want you all to write these two conditions also in the exam. Okay. So can we move to third problem?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, wonder.
Yeah.
Ma'am, immediately preceding relevant previous year means we have to add consider the previous year, or we have to leave the previous year.
No. You should leave the relevant previous year, and leaving that year, preceding 4 years you should take. Like, for example, in this problem, the relevant previous year was 2018-19. But for considering the second basic condition, you have to leave this year and just check the 4 years that is preceding 18-19. Now, 18-19, if you leave, what are the 4 years before 18-19? 17-18, 16-17, 15-16, 14-15. So these are the 4 years. And only for this 60 years in the previous year, and so this only previous year. When I say previous year and relevant previous year, it means the same. So 60 days you have to just see for this particular year, and 365 days or more you have to see for the 4 years, leaving the relevant previous year. Have I cleared your doubt?
Yes, ma'am. Clear.
Yes?
Yes, ma'am. It's clear.
Okay. Now let us go to problem number 3. Miss Pal, an Indian citizen, left India for the first time on 1st April 2018 for joining a job in Tokyo. She came in India on 11th October 2018 only for 190 days. Determine her residential status for previous year 18-19. So students, what they're telling here is, she was an Indian citizen, but she left India for what reason? Employment purpose. Because for joining job in Tokyo for employment purpose. And I already told you all, okay, let us just go through the slides so that you all can get a quick revision. A person who is leaving India for employment purpose, how are you going to check his residential status? You're just going to see whether he's in India during the relevant previous year for at least 182 days. So you're not going to check his first basic condition, second basic condition, nothing like that. You're just going to, because he's coming under exception. Any person who is leaving India for employment purpose, you have to just, how will you determine the residential status? You have to just see whether his stay in the relevant previous year amounts to 182 days or no. So let us see. First, to check 182 days, we have to calculate the days. So let us see it in the form of a table. So if the previous year, they have given previous year is 1819, means the relevant previous year is 1819. What is the exception to section 6 subsection 1 saying that his stay in the previous year should be at least 182 days. If it is 182 days, he is a resident. If it is not 182 days, she is a non-resident. So we start from April 1819 you have taken. So 1819, as I told you, previous year always starts from April and ends to March. Now, she is leaving India for the first time on 1st April. Students, in my first class, I think, or in the class where in my second lecture, I told you all that when a person is leaving India or coming to India, that day also will be counted as stay in India. Therefore, if he is leaving India on 1st April, means 1st April also will be counted as stay in India. So in April, one day he stayed. May, she has not stayed. June, she has not stayed. July, August, September. She has returned back on October 11th. So the day she is returning back also will be calculated as a stay in India. So October totally has 31 days. Out of 31 days, 10 days she was outside India. So how many days she was in India? 21 days. So 31 minus 10. Because 11th October also you should calculate as a stay in India. Because I already told you earlier that the day any person is leaving India or coming to India also will be calculated as stay in India. So October she has stayed for 21 days. November, obviously, here they have written 190 days. So we'll keep on calculating up to we reach 190. So 21 days, October, November 30, December 31st, 31 days, January 31, Feb 28, and March 31. And obviously the previous year ends at March. So if you go to see, she has stayed 17 days in April of next year. April 1920, she stayed for 17 days. So that we need not consider because we just want to see that her stay in the relevant previous year is at least 182 days. So if we count all these number of days, it is coming up to 173. Now you will tell me whether she is a resident or a non-resident.
Non-resident, ma'am.
Resident, ma'am.
Non-resident, because we should not check the basic conditions for a person who's leaving India for employment purpose. Usko exception hai, and that exception is nothing but we have to just check whether in the relevant previous year she is staying at least 182 days or no. If she's staying 182 days, then yes, she is a resident. Otherwise, she is a non-resident. So we'll just see the solution. Since she left India for employment purpose, hence for becoming resident, she has to stay in India for at least 182 days. However, she is in India for only 173 days during the previous year. Thus, she is a non-resident for the previous year 2018-19. Now, certain points that you need to keep in mind, which I've already told you all, that is, stay at the same place in India is not necessary. Continuous stay in India also is not necessary. A person shall be deemed to be reside in India even if he is in the territorial waters of India. Why am I telling continuous stay in India is not necessary? Because we counted this 1st April, one day in April also. So continuously stay is not required. Even in breaks, if she is staying, we have to calculate those number of days as stay in India. So have you all understood problem number 3? This is not a part of your solution. It is just in respect of this problem, it was just an point that you all had to keep in mind. So have you all understood the problem number 3?
Yes, ma'am.
Everyone? Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes,
Let us
ma'am.
move to problem number 4. Mr. X, aged 19 years, left India for the first time on May 31st, 2018. Determine his residential status for the previous year, 1819, if he left India for employment purpose. And one more part is if he left India on a world tour. So they've given two situations. What if he left India for employment purpose? What will be his residential status? And if he left India on a world tour, what will be his residential status? So first, let us see if he left India for employment purpose. So students, now you all have to tell me that if any person is living in India for employment purpose, how will you check his residential status? So his residential status will be checked based on his stay in the previous year. If his stay in the previous year is at least 182 days, then he is a resident. Otherwise, he is a non-resident. Correct? So we are first solving the first part. So during the previous year, 1819, Mr. X was in India for 61 days. Now, how did we arrive at 61 days? We have to just make a table. Either you make it horizontally or vertically. We have to check that 1819, as 1819 is the previous year, whether his stay is 182 days. He's leaving India for the first time on May 31st. And you know previous year starts from April and ends in the month of March next year. So April he is staying for 30 days and May he is staying for 31 days because he's leaving India on May 31st. And I told you all that the day he's leaving India and he's coming to India, that also will be counted as stay in India. So April 30, May 31, and then he goes. He leaves India and goes, and he's never come back. The information of coming back is not there, so he's not assumed that he's not come back. So what is his total number of stay in the previous year, 1819? 30 plus 31, it is total is 61 days. So is he a resident or is he a non-resident?
Non-resident.
He is a non-resident because a person who is leaving India for employment purpose, his stay in the previous year should be how much? 182 days at least, but he's just staying for 91 days, therefore he's a non-resident. So how you're going to write? During the previous year 1819, X stayed in India for 61 days. Further, he was in India for more than 365 days during the obviously he's leaving India for the first time. So obviously before 1819 he's always stayed in India. So we'll just see the solution for the first part. Since he left India for employment purpose, conditions of section 6 subsection 1 clause C will not be applicable on such SSC. He will be treated as resident in India if and only if he resides in India for at least 182 days during the previous year. Hence, Mr. X is a non-resident in India for the previous year 1819 because he resided only for a period of 61 days. Is that clear? Now moving ahead to the second situation. Suppose he has left India on a world tour for a reason because he is gone on a world tour. Then what will be his situation? How do you determine his residential status? Then again, you go back to section 6 subsection 1. First basic condition. What is the first basic condition, students? His stay in India should be for a period of 182 days or more. Is he fulfilling the first basic condition? Is he fulfilling the first basic condition? His stay in India during the previous year should be 182 days or more. We saw that his stay is only 61 days. Therefore, he is not fulfilling this first basic condition. He is not fulfilling. Now, let us check whether he is fulfilling the second basic condition. And if he fulfills the second basic condition, he'll become a resident, otherwise non-resident. So what is the second basic condition? His stay in India during the 4 years. And this 4 years you will calculate from immediately preceding the previous year. Should be at least 365 days or more. So let us see part A is at least getting fulfilled or not. Now you all tell me, students, he's leaving India for the first time in 2018. Means if he's leaving India for the first time, means before that he's always stayed in India. Now if he's always stayed in India, obviously in the 4 years, his number of stay in India is 365 days or more. Are you all getting me?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you all understanding?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So this part of second basic condition, this part is getting fulfilled and has been in India for at least 60 days in the previous year. Let us check that. In the previous year, 18-19, he's staying for 61 days. So is he fulfilling the second basic condition?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Yes. He's fulfilling the second basic condition because obviously he's leaving for the first time means always he's been in India. His stay in the 4 years immediately preceding the previous year is 365 days or more and 60 days or more in the previous year. He's fulfilling both the parts of the second basic condition. Therefore, he's fulfilling the second basic condition. And in order to determine whether it's a resident or non-resident, he has to either fulfill both the conditions or any of the one. Any of one also if he fulfills, he becomes a resident in India. So tell me, he's fulfilling the second basic condition. So is he a resident or a non-resident?
Resident, ma'am.
Resident of India, ma'am.
Resident.
So since he left
Resident
India
in India.
on world tour, which is very good. Since he left India on world tour, which is not an exception. Now world tour if he's going, it is not an exception. Exception may we have only two things. One is he's going for employment purpose and other one is he's a member of a crew of an Indian ship. So since he left India on a world tour, which is not an exception of section 6 subsection 1, satisfy any one condition that is specified in section 6 subsection 1 makes him a resident in India for the previous year 18-19. As he satisfies the second condition as shown above, like we have seen here, of section 6 subsection 1, he is a resident in India. Now students, once he is tagged as a resident, what is your next step to do? Your next step is to check whether he is a resident and ordinarily resident or whether he is a resident and not ordinarily resident. This when you are going to check only once you come to know he's a resident. Then only you will jump to the additional conditions. Otherwise, you are not going to look into the additional condition. You will look into the additional condition once he is tagged as a resident. Obviously, if he's a non-resident, you need not check. So let us see the whether he is ROR or RNOR. So for that, what you have to check? If he's fulfilling both the additional conditions, he becomes, both means both has to get satisfied. Means he becomes ROR. If he fulfills any one or none, he becomes RNOR. So what is the first additional condition? He is a resident in any 2 years out of the 10 years preceding the relevant previous year. Means you leave the relevant previous year and before that 10 years, in that any 2 years he is a resident and his total stay in India in the last 7 years preceding the relevant previous year is 730 days or more. So let us check. What is happening in this case? He's leaving India for the first time on May 31st, 2018. Now, when first time he's leaving India on May 31st, 2018 means before that, how many years are there? Maybe you can take it as 10 years or you take it as 7 years before that. Obviously, his stay in India, he's been a resident in 2 years out of 10 years and he's stay in India is 730 days or more in the last 7 years. So therefore he becomes resident and ordinarily resident. Have you understood this part? Because he's leaving India for the first time in May 31st, 2018, means obviously before that, before 1819, how many number of years are there? Maybe it is 10 years or maybe it is 7 years. He's always stayed in India. So obviously he's a resident in any 2 years out of 10 years, and his stay in India in the last 7 years is 730 days or more. No need to calculate also, because he's always stayed in India and only first time he's leaving India. Therefore he's fulfilling both the additional conditions. So let us see further. He also satisfies the dual conditions that are specified under section 6 subsection 6. So additional conditions are specified under section 6 subsection 6 since he left India for the first time. So no need to even explain it, because he is leaving India for the first time. So obviously he is satisfying both the additional conditions. Therefore he is a resident and ordinarily resident. Don't write your ordinary resident, you have to write ordinarily resident for the previous year 1819. Now have you all understood this part, the second part of it?
Yes,
Have you all
ma'am.
understood that part, students? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Everyone understood how to check the additional conditions?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now here it was very simple. Otherwise, again, we would have plotted down in the form of a table just to calculate the number of days. But here it was first time. So we know that before that he was always in India. So we didn't calculate the number of days. And then you can write, since it is first time, means it is assumed that he's always stayed in India. Now let us see the next problem. Problem number 5. Brett Lee, an Australian cricket player, visits India for 100 days in every financial year. So what does this mean? Every year he is visiting India, but only for 100 days. This has been a practice for last 10 financial years. That means from last 10 financial years, he's always coming to India for a period of 100 days. Find out his residential status for the assessment year 1920. So have you understood the problem? What is the problem? Is very simple, that there's an Australian player who is coming to India past 10 years, but only he's staying in India for 100 days. What is his residential status? Now, if the assessment year is 1920, what is going to be the previous year, students? It is going to be 1890.
1890.
Very good. So let us check the first basic condition. So what is the first basic condition? The first basic condition states that his stay in India during the relevant previous year should be 182 days or more. First basic condition, he has been in India during the relevant previous year for a period of 182 days or more. And you all have told me the previous year is 1819. So in 1819, how many days he stayed? Only 100 days. Because every financial year he's just staying for 100 days. So is he fulfilling the first basic condition?
No.
No, ma'am.
No.
He is not fulfilling the first basic condition. Now let us check whether he is fulfilling the second basic condition or no. Second basic condition is his stay in the 4 years immediately preceding the relevant previous year. Now if the previous year is 1819, what are the 4 years before that? It is going to be 1718, 1617, 1516, 1415, correct? Now, in every financial year, he is staying only for 100 days. So total, how much is his stay in the 4 years immediately preceding the previous year? 400 days. And what is the second basic condition saying? That his stay in the 4 years immediately preceding the relevant previous year should be 365 days or more. See here, it should be 365 days or more. And his stay in the previous year should be at least 60 days. So is he fulfilling the second basic condition? One
Yes,
part is
ma'am.
fulfilled because it is,
Yes,
and the
ma'am.
second part also in the previous year it is more than 60 days. 100 days, and this is 400 days. So he is fulfilling the second basic condition. Now, if he is fulfilling any of the one basic condition, is he a resident or a non-resident?
Resident.
He is a resident.
Resident in
He's a resident.
ma'am.
So therefore, very good. So therefore, Bradley is a resident. Now, once we come to know he's a resident, what is our next step? Our next step is to know whether he's a resident and ordinarily resident, or resident and not ordinarily resident. That is be our next step. So let us see the solution up to here. Mr. Bradley has been in India for a period of more than 60 days during the previous year and for a period of more than 365 days during the 4 immediately preceding previous year. Therefore, since he satisfies one of the basic conditions specified under section 6 subsection 1, he is a resident for the assessment year 1920. Okay. Now, what is the next step, students? Our next step is to just check whether he is a ROR or RNOR. How do we check that? For that, we have 2 additional conditions. What are the 2 additional conditions? The first condition is he should be a resident for a period of any 2 years out of 10 years immediately preceding the relevant previous year. Now, he is a resident or no? See here. He is a resident in any 2 years out of 10 years preceding the relevant previous year. What do you mean by resident? Resident means one basic condition should get fulfilled to become resident in any 2 years. Out of that 10 years, in any 2 years, he should be a resident. So is that condition getting fulfilled? Obviously, no. Next is, we have to check is his total stay in India for last 7 years preceding the relevant previous year is 730 days or more. So whether preceding the relevant previous year, what is the relevant previous year here? It is 1819. So leaving 1819, we have to see before that the 7 years. 7 years means 17, 18, 16, 17, 15, 16, 14, 15, 13, 14, 12, 13, 11, 12. Whether his stay is $730 days or more. Now, is he? No, we know that every year he's just staying for a period of 100 days. Yes. So it becomes 700 days. Correct. So is he fulfilling the second additional condition?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
He is not.
No.
Because it should be that his stay in the relevant, his stay in the 7 years immediately preceding the relevant previous year should be 730 days or more. So since his period of stay during the past 7 previous year is less than 730 days, he is a not ordinarily resident during the assessment year 1920. So he got the status as resident, but he is a resident and not ordinarily resident. Is this clear, students? So you can write, therefore, Mr. Bradley is a resident but not ordinary resident during the previous year 1819, and the assessment year for that is 1920. So did you all understand problem number 5?
Yes, ma'am.
Everyone understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
I think we can finish the problem number 6 also because it is similar to problem number 2. So let us quickly finish problem number, or is it registering in your head, or you all want to conclude the class now. Okay, we'll finish problem number 6. Mr. B, a Canadian citizen, comes to India for the first time during the previous year 14-15. So during the financial year 14-15, 15-16, 16-17, 17-18 and 18-19, his stay in India was for 55 days, 60 days, 90 days, 150 days and 70 days respectively. Determine his residential status for the assessment year 19-20. So again, we are going to check the first basic condition, which says that his stay in the previous year should be 182 days or more. Now, what is the previous year? If the assessment year is 19-20, the previous year is 18-19. So here in 18-19, his stay is only for 70 days. So if his stay, is he fulfilling the first? India should be at least 182 days or more. So, okay. First basic is not getting satisfied. What is the second basic condition? The second basic condition is his stay in India during the 4 years immediately preceding the relevant previous year. Relevant previous year is 18-19. Before that 4 years, 1, 2, 3, 4. His stay should be how much? His stay should be 365 days or more. So count it, 55 plus 60 plus 90 plus 150. So it is only 355 days. So he's not fulfilling the second basic condition also. So if he's not fulfilling both the basic conditions, tell me students whether he's a resident or a non-resident.
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 So since he does not satisfy any of the conditions specified under section 6 subsection 1, therefore he is a non-resident for the previous year 2018-19. So have you all understood all the problems that we solved today?
Yes,
Yeah, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Everyone, we will be dealing with much more problems in the coming class. I will be solving the previous year question papers relating to the residential status of individual SSC. So I hope you are understanding the problems.
Yes, ma'am.
So thank you so much, students.